Welcome to the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. I'm Lauren Hill, and I'm here with Ken Oda and Edward Neiman, and we are getting you ready for the first time we will ever host or have hosted the Minnesota Mallards. So last time we played them, we swept the series, but we were in Minnesota. Like I just said, we are hosting them this weekend for the first time literally ever. What are y'all expecting to see this weekend?
Yeah, the Tauros put up a lot of offense that weekend in Minnesota. I think 6 goals both nights. So looking for more offense, which is good because tomorrow is Teddy Bear Toss night. So should be a fun weekend overall.
Yeah, again, I know we talked about it. 12 combined goals last time the Tauros took on the Mallards. Of course, the first one was an OT winner, but the Tauros made good adjustments defensively and got the 6-1 victory in the following game. Hopefully looking to see more of that this weekend.
Yeah, speaking of victories, let's take a look back at Saturday's win over the Watertown Shamrocks.
Yeah, Lauren, Tauros battled through some early adversity. It was the Shamrocks getting on the board first for the first lead of the series and the first lead ever on the Tauros on home ice as the Shamrocks tried to salvage a series split. It was Cam Markham getting the early 1-0 lead for Watertown. It was the Tauros responding just over 2 minutes later, though. John Small tied it at 1-1 with assists coming from Spets and Funk.
An absolute missile from Smallsy to the top corner there. Great awareness by Spencer to drop the pass to him and continue to drive the net. That created a screen, and Small was able to pick a corner.
No scoring in that second period, but it picked right back up in the third period. Jack O'Hannison gave the Tauros the lead a little over 15 minutes into the period. Tauros go up 2-1 and then add another on an empty netter from John Small for his second of the night. Tauros win 3-1, get the series sweep over the Shamrocks.
Yeah, now let's turn our attention back to tonight's game with a look at the updated Noodles numbers brought to you by Noodles & Company of Minot. So with that Saturday win, we are now 15-6-1 as we are third in the division, as the Minnesota Mallards are 8-14-2 as they are 7th in the division.
Yeah, the weekend sweep puts us at 399 franchise wins, a chance to get number 400 tonight.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers here, the Mallards giving up quite a few goals, the most in the division, 4.38 goals against per game. We saw it last weekend against this Mallards team. So once again, I think the name of the game for the Tauros is to score and score often.
You look at the special teams numbers. Their penalty kills struggled, but their power play 10th in the league, 20%. You look at that Friday game in Minnesota, that's what brought them back into it. A couple goals at 4-on-4, I believe a power play goal as well. So those special teams certainly a key. You want to try and keep this game 5-on-5 or power plays for the Tauros.
It's time to look at our Minotaurs Booster Club players to watch. Ken, let's start off with your player.
I'm going with the easy pick tonight, Jack O'Hannison. Mentioned it a little bit last weekend on the broadcast, a couple weeks ago on the pregame show. We're officially on record watch for Baby J. He's got 7 points in 2 games against the Mallards, but 99 career points for O'Hannison, 41 career goals, so 1 point away from 100, and 42 goals doesn't necessarily sound like a record watch right off the hop, but it would tie Alex Adams for the most goals in a Toro jersey, with plenty of season left to go ahead and break the record as well.
I'm going to go with Leo Sabulis for the Tauros. 2 goals in the series last time against the Mallards, a marker in each of the games. Both of those goals came in the first period, 5 goals and 2 assists on the season. But I think when you look at the last 2 games when the Tauros squared off against the Mallards, it was getting on the board early, applying pressure. And especially now when you look at this series being at the Tauros home, definitely a different environment than you see down in Forest Lake. So if the Tauros can apply pressure early, I think they're in a good spot on both of these nights.
Yeah, I'm going to go for John Small. He had a goal against the Mallards in the previous series that we played up in Minnesota. He also had 2 goals last Saturday, as we talked about. So kind of like a heating up moment, especially since we've been back in the Mesa Arena last weekend and then again this weekend. And he also has 23 points just in general on the season. So yeah, I think he's a great player to watch. And that brings us to our home key group keys to the game. Ken, what are your keys to tonight's game?
Well, we're going duck hunting, which put me in an old school NES mood. So first one up, Blades of Steel. Tauros need to be hard on their skates, play with speed. And also, we saw down in Forest Lake a couple weeks ago, going to have to be physical. We saw some big hits in that one. We saw Ian Spencer get into a fight. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. You got to be strong tonight. And again, off that fight idea, punch out, right? Based on the last meeting, there's a good chance we're going to see some fisticuffs at some point, either tonight or tomorrow. So be ready to fight. And then we've talked about him already, but Mega Man, Jack O'Hannison on the cusp of 100 career points. and 42 goals. Only 182 players in the league's history have posted 50 goals in their career. It's a 50th season for the North American Hockey League, so not a lot of guys have done it. Ohani a chance, not necessarily tonight, but over the course of the season to become the 183rd player with 50 goals in their career in the North American Hockey League.
Yeah, Ken, I wouldn't be surprised the Tauros are once again going to be in a physical battle against this Mallards team. Different from last time the Tauros played the Mallards. Mallards coming in on a bit of a winning streak themselves, winning their last two last weekend down at home. So definitely momentum on both sides of the ice.
I love the little theme there, Ken. You're getting good at the little themes. All right, Minotaurs fans, it's time to take your phones out and pull up the Tauros mobile app for your chance to win prizes throughout tonight's game. Starting with our 4 Bears Sportsbook over-unders, we have total Tauros shots on goal over-under 35.5.
I'm going to take the over, Lauren. We mentioned 6 goals in the last 2 games for the Tauros. Tauros did face both of the Mallards goaltenders, so they have seen each of those guys. And I think, the more pucks you put on net, obviously the Mallards have given up quite a few goals so far this year. I think that will definitely benefit the Tauros greatly, and I expect to hit the over on that.
I'm going to go over as well. I think the Tauros were over 40 shots on goal in both games in Forest Lake. So whatever the Tauros have been doing, it's been working against them. So I expect to see more shots on goal again tonight.
Yeah, I expect the Tauros to come out very hot tonight, especially, again, we're back at home. They tend to score early on when we are here in the Mesa Arena. So I think that's a great over. Our second one is total Tauros goals over under 3.5.
I'm going to take the over here as well. Again, 6 goals in each game against Minnesota. The last time these two teams met, until they hold us under 3, I'm going to take the over for sure.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one, Ken. I think the over on that is just self-explanatory.
I'm going to go with over as well for other points that Ken mentioned.
And total Jacko Hannison points over under 1.5. I'm going to go over just to be that person. I think he's going to hit it tonight, and it would be a great Friday night to do it.
I'm going to take the over as well. I think all signs point to it. Jacko Hannison, 28 points on the year, 7 goals, 21 assists. What better way to start off the weekend than getting some points on the board?
7 of those 28 points came in the weekend set against the Mallards in Forest Lake. And that's why I'm going to take the over as well. That will bring us to our McDonald's Tauros trivia question. It's been the Jacko Hannison theme all evening. Going into play tonight, how many Tauros have had 100 or more career points? Your options 1, 2, 3, or 4.
I'm going to go with 1 here. I think we've talked a little bit about this in the office, and I may have heard it wrong or may have heard it correctly, but I think it may be 1.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure the answer of this one as well. I'm kind of second guessing myself, but I'm going to go with 2.
All right. Well, get your guesses in, fans. A chance to win a free lunch from our friends at Dakota Drive McDonald's. Correct answer will be revealed during the 3rd period.
All right, Ken, Edward, do you have any final thoughts on tonight's game?
I think once again, more opportunity for the Tauros to take advantage of home ice and climb up those Central Division standings. 4 points on the table this weekend. If the Tauros can do that before hitting the road to once again take on this Mallards team, I think that will really set the tone for these next 2 series.
We've talked about the soft part of the Tauros schedule being this month of December all season long. Not to offend the Mallards or the Shamrocks, but a lot of the expansion teams here in this stretch, you really got to take advantage when you're playing here at home. I look for the Tauros to get off to a good start and do that tonight.
All right, and that will do it for the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. Now we'll turn it over to Josh Carlock for tonight's starting lineups.
Toro fans, the Minot Minotauros welcome you to the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena for tonight's matchup between the Mallards of Minnesota and your Minot Minotauros. Are you ready for some Minotauros hockey?
My name is Ho, H to the O-V. I used to move snowflakes by the OZ. I guess he can call me CEO of the ROC. Ho, fresh out the frying pan into the fire. I be the music biz #1 supplier. Fly it in a piece of paper bearing my name. Got the hottest chick in the game wearing my chain. That's right, ho. Not DOC, but similar to them letters. No one could do it better. I check cheddar like a food inspector. My homie Strick told me, dude, finish your breakfast. So that's what I'ma do. Take you back to the dude with the Lexus. Fast forward the jewels and the necklace. Let me tell you, dudes, what I do to protect us. Shoot at you actors like movie directors. This ain't a movie, dog.
Now, before I finish, let me just say, I did not come here to show out, did not come here to impress you, because to tell you the truth, when I leave, you'll never be able to say that these brothers lied to you, Jack.
Thing ain't lie, I done came through the block and everything.
And that's how it is now. You better dip on the dance floor now. Get on that rhythm now. I'ma say,
Oh, welcome to the ice, your Minor Minotauro! And goal is now it's time to meet your SRT Communications starting lineup. In goal from Niskanya, New York, number 33, Will Mazenko. On defense from Oregon, Wisconsin, number 77, Landon Fleming. On defense from Ancaster, Ontario, number 42, Adam Mahler. And left wing from Upton, Illinois, number 23, Ian Spencer. At center from Orland Park, Illinois, number 18, John Small. And at right wing from War Road, Minnesota, number 22, Murray Marvin Corden. And your Magic City Discovery Center captains, Mia McLeod and Landis Christensen. Your Toros are led by head coach Cody Campbell. He is assisted by Tyler Ebner and Wyatt Wazalenchuk. Toro fans, at this time we ask that you rise as you are able as the Minot Air Force Base Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Performing the national anthem is Elijah Robertson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars course through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And good evening, fans, and welcome to the Minotauro Network. It's Friday Night Tauros hockey as the Tauros take on the Minnesota Mallards, hosting them for the first time in franchise history. Edward Neiman and soon to be joined alongside Ken Oda as the Tauros look to continue their winning ways. It was just a couple weeks back that both of these teams met down in Forest Lake. Tauros net 12 combined goals in that series en route to a series sweep. Tauros looking to replicate that performance here on home ice. Tauros wearing the home cream and cardinal cream sweaters with cardinal buckets and breezers. Mallards in their road kits, all maroon with gold and white trim and accents. Tauros work this out of the neutral zone. Puck is down and away we go. Friday night action here on the Pepsi rink. Tauros throw this into the offensive zone. Pass quickly cut off by the Mallards. Mallards working it deep out of the defensive zone. This is given near side as this puck will trickle free from the stick of Conan, the assistant for the Mallards, into the Tauros zone. Tauros take this back the other way. Spencer across the blue line will skate in, fire one on net. That one easily fended off by Rafai. Rafai hits the ice, though, as this puck goes up and out of play. We're going to get a whistle as the Mallards goaltender, Richard Rafai, hits the ice and stays down as we get a stoppage of play. Just 35 seconds into action, and the training staff is going to be sent down to the ice. Rafai still down as he got out of the crease to bat a free puck. Got caught up in the action. While we have the break, though, we will get to a couple check-ins here on socials as we get rolling. Sally being the Chicago crew aboard on Facebook. D. Nelson also checking in on Facebook as well. The Battens checking in from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Spencer's tuned in from Mokina, Illinois. As Rafai still gets tended to by the medical staff. Mallards coming into this one also on a winning streak of their own. They get wins last weekend at home over the North Iowa Bulls and the Austin Bruins. Their record now 8-14-2. The Bulls are on a little bit of a losing streak. They dropped their last 6, so that 6th place position for the Mallards is in reach. Of course, the added 2 teams in the division, now top 4, still go to the playoffs, but definitely something to monitor as we move just over that 3rd of the season checkpoint. Tauros, after the weekend sweep last weekend, getting 2 wins over the Mallards, 15-6-1, good for 3rd in the Central Division. Tauros and Mallards will also square off next weekend down in Forest Lake. Rafai is back onto his skates, which is a good sign here. The other netminder here rostered for the Mallards is Zane Spaniel. Tauros did see both goaltenders in the last series between these 2 teams. Of course, finding success for both. Rafai playing a majority of the games, though, for the Mallards. As we bring in the second half of the broadcast crew, Ken Oda.
Sorry I'm late. I'll be honest, I did not see what happened, so I'm going to need you to inform me.
Tauros got a shot on net, and Rafai came out of the net to try to bat it away, and it appeared that he got caught in a little bit of a collision in front of the net, so
his night is done, it would appear, after 35 seconds.
it will be Zane Spaniel in net now for the Mallards. As I mentioned, Tauros did see both of these goaltenders last time they played the Mallards. But it was Richard Rafai who has got a majority of the game so far for this Mallards team. So the draw is going to come back out to the neutral zone. Tauros getting a lone shot on net in that first 35 seconds. As it'll be Uhala in on the draw for the Tauros. Puck is down. We are back underway. Neutral zone. This puck's chased after the far side by Kaldenbach. Kaldenbach will just hack this one into the offensive zone for the Mallards. Hagstrom tries to get a stick on it as Uhala cleans up a loose puck behind the net of Will Mazenko. This is tossed far side to Ohannesson. Ohannesson will bring it back down the other way behind the Toro net near side. This is taken away by O'Flynn. O'Flynn keeping this into the offensive zone by the Mallards, just forced to dump this one in. It's Eli Bailey chasing after this one, but the Toros do come away with it. Ty James is getting across the near side of neutral zone. He'll dump this one in for the Toros far side. It's Ohannesson. Ohannesson fans on a shot as he gets held up along the boards by 2 Mallards defenders. Puck still rattling along the far side boards. Toros come free with it. Batten tried to feed a pass there to Uhala. That one caught up through traffic, sent down to the near side. Toros centering pass there by Uhala. Uhala with an opportunity there in open ice. Just couldn't get everything on that one, so the Mallards will turn it back the other way. Vanderway will dump this one in as the Mallards go for a change. Toros turn it back the other way in the neutral zone. Will feed it along the near side boards. Mallards turn it right back, though, as this one's dumped in behind the net of Mazenko. It's the Toros going after this one. It was Gibbs hitting the ice as this one's fed down to the near side. Sabulis tries to work it up. Ice tip free, though, by the Mallards, sending the Toros back in their own zone to retrieve this one. 2 minutes of play have eclipsed in this one. Toros with just the lone shot on net. Mallards in the offensive zone as Davidson tried to work a pass towards the center of the ice. Toros holding Davidson up in the near side. Mallards come away with it. A centering pass there taken away by the Toros as Owen frees it up back into the neutral zone.
Gibbs, a good veteran play, playing his 150th career junior game if you include playoffs this evening.
Toros send this back the other way. Toros get some fresh legs on the ice as the Mallards go back in their own zone to retrieve this one. It's worked down the near side boards. Toros with a good stick there to break that one up. Ramirez was in to cut off the pass. Mallards from behind their own net. Their pass also gets tipped through traffic. Fleming into the near side corner. Tries to get a stick on this one as Toros continue to pressure in the offensive zone. Toros finally turn up with it. Nichols Tries to feed one in the near side corner. Edwards comes away with it. Near side will throw an in on net. Ramirez trying to clean up a rebound in front of the net of Spaniels. Another shot fed on net by Nichols. This one rebound out to the far side as Mallards there at the blue line to keep it into the offensive zone. Another hack there by Nichols as that one hit iron and is eventually whistled dead with 16:46. Couple of good opportunities there in the offensive zone for the Tauros.
Toros getting to the front of the net or the side of the net pretty easily so far this evening.
Draw will come out to Spaniel's left side. Spaniel with a 2-4-1 record entering tonight. It'll be Small in on the draw for the Tauros.
They tell goaltenders even when you're not starting, prepare as if you are. And this is why.
Tauros working the offensive zone near side corner. O'Flynn trying to work that one free. It's Spencer, though, coming away with it. Spencer will feed Marvin Cordes as Marvin Cordes will send it far side. This one thrown in by Tui, gloved and held by Spaniel.
When I was a goalie, I used to spend my day getting ready as if I was starting. That meant mostly looking behind me. Shots 5-0 in favor of the Tauros.
Mallards win the defensive zone draw. Flynn will throw this off the far side. Glass puck will roll into the Tauros defensive zone. Tauros, though, quickly work it back the other way. Small carries in the neutral zone. Just throwing this one in pursuit into the Mallards defensive zone. Collision along the far side boards. So Mallards work this one finally across the blue line. Tauros are there for it. Small will toss it back into the Mallards territory. Mallards, though, get to it as O'Flynn will work this along the far side boards.
Small was trying to feed James. James had just cut to the middle of the ice, unfortunately. The Tauros may have had a good chance.
Tauros working this one out of their own zone. It's controlled by Tui. Tui will feed James. James to the near side to Spencer. Spencer will stop in the neutral zone and eventually carry this across the blue line. Spencer in the near side corner will fire one. Ends up to the far side. That one will ring all the way into the Tauros zone.
Those were close to too many men as that went right through their change.
Carried along the far side here by Yahala. Yahala in the neutral zone. He'll skate it to Ohannesson. Ohannesson will feed one that gets hung up through some traffic in front of the Mallards net and sent back out into the neutral zone. Gibbs will gather it for a moment and throw this one in. Mallards along the far side boards. It's Eli Bailey trying to poke it free. Quick shot on net from the far side point by Gibbs. Easily saved by Spaniel and turned back the other way. It's Dakota Bailey carrying this in the neutral zone. He'll chip this one into the Tauros zone. Of course, two Baileys on that Mallards line there, Dakota and Eli. As this one goes the distance for an icing. Icings, as always, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. Tauros, 6 shots on net. Mallards still looking for their first of the night. This draw will come out to Mazenko's right side. It's Uhala in on the draw for the Tauros. This one quickly won, controlled behind the net of Mazenko by Gibbs. Gibbs will ring it to the near side. Batten was there for it, but Mallards also working at that as Del Pool was in on this one. Far side corner, both teams battling up along the boards. Puck freed up as Uhala goes after it for the Tauros. Eventually corralled by Gibbs, given near side to Batten. Batten will just throw this one into the neutral zone as it'll trickle down to the Mallards territory. Mallards there for it as Ganetz will carry it near side. Ganetz blows a tire, hits the ice as the Mallards will have to reset. Del Pool will get to it. He'll give it right back to Ganetz. Ganetz skating into the neutral zone. Good stick there by Tabulas to break that one up. Mallards are back there for it. Good cutoff though by Mahler to carry it back the other way. Mahler across the blue line will lose his handle. Ganetz turning free with it. He'll bring it down to the near side. Fleming gets a poke at it to keep it in the offensive zone for the Tauros. Just pursued after to the far side and eventually chipped back the other way by the Minnesota Mallards as they get some fresh legs back on the ice. Tauros reset out of their own zone. Fleming will chuck this one into the offensive zone. Mallards toss it right back the other way. Tauros once again to reset. 13:25 to go here in the first period. No scoring so far in this one. This is worked down to Fleming as that puck rolled in front of the Toro net. Tauros back into the neutral zone. It's Owens getting to this one.
I don't think Cody Campbell liked the Toros putting that puck in front of their own net like that on that breakout.
Mallards going after one of the Tauros zone. It's Pyle near side corner. Pyle will throw it behind the net of Mazenko. Far side, it's Funk. Funk will skate it into the neutral zone. Give near side to Tabulis. Tabulis will skate into the offensive zone. Will fire one.
He was looking to set James up. It was a soft shot trying to create a rebound. It did, but goaltender quickly swatted it to the corner before James could do any damage.
Mallards will start up ice from behind their own net. It's Ramirez pressuring for the Tauros, working up against Davis. Ramirez finally gets a free. A centering pass here to Nichols. Nichols will fire one. It goes off the glove of Spaniel. Dangerous opportunity there. So Mallards tried to work that one free out of their own zone.
I could have swore that puck went up and out of play. Delayed call coming, though, has the Toro net empty.
To the far side, it's given to Edwards. Edwards across the blue line is the Mallards will touch up. The Tauros will go to the First Western Bank and Trust power play for the first time tonight. It's going to be Deke Davidson, the guilty party here. With 12:04 to go in the period, Tauros will have the extra man advantage. It's going to be a tripping call. Tauros entering tonight just a touch under 27% on the power play. Good for first in the division. Draw out to Spaniel's right side. Tauros win the draw. It's Spencer at the near side point. He'll work it down the boards to O'Hannison. O'Hannison back to Spencer. Worked far side to Mahler. Mahler will skate at the far side point. Give to O'Hannison. O'Hannison will skate and find Spencer. Spencer out to Batten. Batten a centering pass there. Cut off by Del Pool. Sent back around the Mallards net. Far side now. It's Mahler. Mahler at the blue line. Will give back down to O'Hannison. O'Hannison send it back and forth to Mahler. Eventually near side to Batten. Batten looking for Spencer in front of the net. Spencer couldn't get a clean look at that one as the Tauros will reset in the offensive zone.
The check almost helped Spencer. It changed the timing of that play.
One-timer here by O'Hannison. Will rebound out to the far side. O'Hannison will end up back with it at the blue line. It's given to Spencer. Spencer looks to Yala. One-timer here by Mahler will get fired in on net. Rebounded out and eventually cleared out of the danger zone by Dakota Bailey. Tauros to reset at neutral zone quickly. Taken back across the blue line by Spencer. O'Hannison will feed Mahler. Mahler will send another one in on net. That one blocker down, and another try here by O'Hannison as eventually the puck is covered and held for a whistle. 53 seconds remain on the power play for the Tauros as we get another look at the chance here.
A couple of good chances in tight on the power play. O'Hannison had a really good look. We've talked about it a lot. His next point, his 100th, his next goal, ties a franchise record.
This one carried free by the Mallards from the draw as O'Flynn lost the handle. Tauros had it for a moment, but the Mallards will get a clear. Under 40 seconds to go on the power play for the Tauros. It's Fleming near side corner to retrieve this one. He'll give to Small, up ice. Small out of the neutral zone will look far side, but that's going to be whistled dead for an offsides. With exactly 30 seconds remaining on the power play.
Shots 12-0 in favor of the Tauros.
Draw out to the neutral zone. It'll be Small in on the draw for the Tauros. It's going to be Hunter Hayes out there for the Mallards. Tauros quickly control off the draw. Fleming will hack one in from the neutral zone. Tauros chasing after this one. Edwards was in pursuit of this one, but the Mallards free it up and clear it back down the ice. Tauros with one last opportunity here with the extra man advantage. This is worked far side to James. James across the blue line. He'll leave for Edwards. Work down to the near side to Small. Small into the corner as this one thrown in on net, in towards the front of the net, I should say, as the Mallards go back to even strength. Under 10 minutes to play in this first period. No scoring so far. As the puck that was rolled on net for the Tauros will be credited as the first shot on net of the night for Minnesota, piled into the offensive zone near side corner. He'll leave this to Manlove. Manlove will lose his handle. Tauros are there for it. It's Connor Tui carrying this down to the near side and eventually chipping it free into the neutral zone. Across the blue line goes Ohannes. Ohannes with a centering pass looking for Uhala. Just going wide. Tauros still working the offensive zone. Ohannes through, and that was caught up through traffic. Tauros, though, get to the loose puck up to the blue line to Gibbs. One timer here by Tui, goes wide left of the net. Rebound out to the far side, cleaned up by Gibbs. Gibbs feeding Uhala behind the Mallards net. Uhala will give near side back to the blue line to Tui. Tui stick handling through some traffic. Eventually will work it back up top to the blue line to Uhala. Far side is Gibbs. Gibbs will throw one in behind the Mallards net. It's Ohannesson there for it. Mallards try to clear it back into the neutral zone. Tauros are there for it. As eventually it's Manlove getting to it. As this is carried back the other way and cleared back down the ice by the Mallards. Good offensive pressure there for the Tauros.
Didn't result in a shot on goal, however. Shot still 12-1 in favor of the Creamland Cardinal.
Tauros will send this back the other way.
And goes for an icing.
8:25 remain in this first period of play. Draw will be out to Mazenko's right side. As Hayes will be back in on the draw.
They're having some trouble with the door on the Mallards bench. It's not staying latched.
As the Mallards control off the draw. Good takeaway there, though, by Nichols. Nichols hustling back the other end of the offensive zone. Will fire when that one just wide. Rebound out to the near side.
I think it kicked off the leg pad.
Conan carries his back the other way into the offensive zone for the Mallards. He looks towards Thompson. Thompson will fire one off the blocker of Mazenko out to the far side as Davidson will work this down along the far side. Borgstad will fire one into the glove of Mazenko for a whistle as we hit the media timeout, as we'll send it to our Northern Century salute.
Tonight, the Tauros salute Airman First Class Jacob Meston. Airman First Class Meston executes maintenance tasks on the 216 TF-33-PW-103 engines for 27 nuclear capable B-52H aircrafts worth approximately $2.9 billion. As a journeyman, he works diligently to develop his leadership skills in a dynamic operational environment while adhering to all Department of Defense and Occupational Safety and Health Administration regulations when conducting troubleshooting and repairing activities for installed off-wing aircraft power plants. Toro fans, make some noise for Airman First Class Jacob Meston.
As break from the media timeout, still scoreless through 12 minutes of play on the Pepsi rink. Both teams on a 2-game win streak coming into this one. A couple of good wins for the Mallards last weekend. One over North Iowa and one over Austin. North Iowa just 2 points ahead of the Mallards now for that 6th place spot in the division. So perhaps a little momentum for this Mallards team entering this weekend. As the Tauros control the defensive zone, draw worked up the far side boards. It's Kaldenbach, though, there for the Mallards to keep this one in the Tauros territory as James works in the near side corner. Eventually hacked free into the neutral zone as Kaldenbach's back for it for the Mallards, sending this back the other way.
I haven't looked at everyone's schedules in detail, but as much as we talk about the Tauros not really seeing I'm sorry, Bismarck or Aberdeen or St. Cloud, not really seeing much of the expansion teams. Expansion teams probably haven't seen much of each other. Right, Bismarck's played the Mallards and Shamrocks a ton. Same can be said for Aberdeen, so that means Watertown and the Mallards haven't played each other much. So their schedules will lighten up as well.
Of course, the Mallards playing the Tauros really competitive in the Friday night contest of the last series, sending it to OT. The Tauros work in their own zone here, but the first of 4 straight games between these two teams tonight. The Mallards carry this out of their own zone. Neutral zone is picked up, though, by Ohannes. Ohannes will skate in and fire one wide right of the net. Uhala will hack it down as the Tauros get in the offensive zone. This one taken away as Ohannes will fire one in off the chest of Spaniel. Puck still bouncing around in front of the Mallards net, eventually sent down to the near side as
Tauros will go to the power play.
it's going to be Trey Gannett heading to the box for the second Mallards penalty of the night. This one coming with 6:25 to play in the first period. As it's going to be interference is the call. Tauros power play, as we mentioned, ranks best in the division, and you look at the Mallards PK unit, dead last. Tauros win the offensive zone draw. Ohannes works it along the near side boards to Spencer. Spencer will leave it back for Ohannes, and Ohannes works it up the blue line to Mahler. Mahler will feed it far side to Uhala. Uhala will skate back up to the blue line. He'll leave this for Ohannes, and Ohannes will chase after. Good pressure there by Dakota. Bailey will force the puck back into the neutral zone and eventually to the Tauros defensive zone. As the Tauros will have to reset with a minute and a half to play on the power play. Uhala skates across the blue line back into the offensive zone. This puck gets caught up along the near side boards as the Tauros control. Ohannes work it back up top to the blue line to Mahler. Mahler back down to Ohannes as Mahler will get it back at the blue line. Far side is Uhala. Uhala throwing it in deep to Batten. Batten with a centering pass here to Mahler. Mahler will fire one into the back of the net. Adam Mahler. Tauros lead 1-0.
Well, I think Ohannes may have the secondary assist on this. Replay doesn't go far enough back, but I think it went Ohannes, Mahler to the side of the net. Nope, they're giving it to Batten.
Power play goal brought to you by Northern Plains Equipment. Goal scored by number 42, Adam Mahler, his 6th of the season. Assisting on the goal, number 10, Jesse Uhala. Also assisting on the goal, number 34, Billy Batten. Time of the goal, 14 minutes, 31 seconds.
As we mentioned pregame, special teams definitely important when you play this Tauros team as they cash in on the second power play opportunity of the night to get their early 1-0 lead. Goal was good for Mahler's 6th of the year.
Mahler also in good position to rewrite a Toro record, but we'll get to that in a minute.
This one's carried free out of the Mallards zone. Puck was in front of the net of Spaniel there for a moment. Good job, though, to clear it out by Minnesota as the Tauros hack this one back in the offensive zone from neutral. It's Funk along the far side boards. Funk skating in. Will try a backhanded try. This one rebounds out as it's tipped wide. Spaniel was laid out there as that puck dangerously rolled around in front of the net. Mallards, though, get to it as this is sent out of their own zone and eventually hacked back into the Toros zone by Borgstad. As the Mallards get some new bodies out on the ice. Big collision there, center ice as Tui worked that out of the Toros zone. As the Mallards get to this one deep in their own zone, back behind their own net. Small, though, bringing pressure, Ramirez bringing pressure there for the Toros. Far side corner, Edwards in there holding up a Mallard as this puck will squirt free and eventually trickle out of the Mallards zone. Not quite the distance as James gets to it. James will allow Tui to pick this one up. Tui feeds Ramirez. Ramirez goes cross ice as he finds Nichols in the neutral zone. Nichols will feed it down near side to Edwards. Edwards hacks that one in along the near side boards. Mallards turn it back the other way. This one's picked up by Vanderway. Vanderway into the offensive zone will fire one high of the net. Rebound out to the far side. Eli Bailey's there for it. He'll feed Vanderway. Vanderway from the boards will try a backhanded feed as this one's thrown towards the front of the net by Bailey. Rebounds picked up. Mallard's still working, but the Toros cut off a pass. It's Edwards skating this free into the neutral zone. So Mallards will get to this one and turn it back the other way. Another puck thrown on net. This one covered and held by Mazenko with 3:06 to go here in the first period. Shots on net in favor of the Toros, 18-6.
As I was starting to say, Adam Mahler a chance to rewrite the Toro record book. He is now 5th with all-time Toros history in defenseman points with 54. He is 1 goal behind Kobe Volk, who had 21 in his Toro career. And Mahler coming into the year at plus 53 was already the all-time plus-minus leader. Of course, you have a bad year, you could fall back. But Mahler at this point, plus 12, so he is now career plus 65 for the Toros. I believe, if memory serves, Nolan Sawchuk plus 43 was the previous record, so Mahler would have to be minus 22 the rest of the way to not end up owning that record for the Toros as well.
Fleming out of the neutral zone will toss this one into the Mallards zone. Mallards, though, carry it back the other way. McDonald along the near side boards will get his pass taken away. Toros tip it free back into the Mallards defensive zone as the Toros will have a delayed offside, so they're going to have to peel back. Mallards will work this one out to neutral zone near side. It's thrown into the corner. Mahler chasing back after this one. Toros trying to get a stick on it as this one's worked free by McDonald. As Denoyer couldn't quite find that one. Good opportunity there as this one's worked down the blue line. It's going to be called for an offsides, though. With 2:08 to play in the first period, Toros lead 1-0.
Shots 18-6 in favor of the Toros. The lead only 1-0, just the power play marker. The only goal on the board. For the Toros, you're happy with how you played, but probably not happy to only be up by 1.
Toros along the near side in the offensive zone. Hagstrom throws this one wide of the net. Far side, it's chased after by Batten and Yahala. Batten trying to settle that one down. It's taken away, though, by the Mallards and skated the other way. Far side, it's Borgstad. Borgstad across the blue line, skates in, fires one off the pad, and hammered home on the rebound. It's going to be Merrick Thompson.
And that is why you're not happy with the 1-goal lead, despite the good effort. 1 defensive zone breakdown, and it's a tie game.
So the Mallards tie it with 1:40 to play here. So all things considered for the Mallards, you know, if you carry this into the break, not a bad period at all.
Especially considered you had to have a goalie swap due to injury just 35 seconds in.
Toros along the near side will throw this one down the ice for an icing. So So the draw will come back out to the defensive
They're
zone.
waving
No,
off the icing. So the Toros will get an offensive zone draw out of it.
Line out there for the Toros right now is Owen, Sabulis, and Funk. Sabulis, of course, getting 2 goals against this Mallards team in the last series, each of which came in the first period on both nights. It's going to be Owens in on the draw, though. And as I say that, he's going to get tossed out, so it will be Sabulis. And quickly work down to the near side. Del Pool was after that one, works it behind the Mallard net. Gannett's in there working up against Owens. This one freed up, hammered on net, up and out of play.
Off the goaltender's blocker, so draw stays in the offensive zone.
.126 remain in this first period. Look at last weekend for this Mallards team. They scored a slew of goals, 8 in the win against North Iowa and 5 against Austin. So offense hasn't been an issue as of late. As this draw will be back out to Spaniel's right side. Owens in on the draw. He'll win it. Funk will throw one quickly wide of the net out to the far side. It's chased after by James. James will back this one in near side as the Mallards throw it off the glass back into the neutral zone. Clark will send this one down the ice as the Mallards resetting behind their own net. Kaldenbach, he'll feed it up ice to Bailey. Bailey goes to Bailey. Eli to Dakota. His collision there in the near side corner. Mallard skating this one in, puck bouncing to Mazenko's left side and eventually worked back down in the neutral zone by the Toros. Under a minute to play in the first period. Mallards retrieve this one out of their own zone. O'Flynn will just dump this one in. Toros will get to it. It's Mahler along the far side into the neutral zone. A centering pass finds Marvin Cordes. Marvin Cordes skating, looking for Sabulis. It's Fleming, though, cleaning up, firing one wide of the net. Out to the far side the puck goes and eventually carried in behind the Minnesota net by the Mallards. So the Toros, the brief neutral zone takeaway before it's settled back down by Mueller. Mueller across the blue line will dump one in as the puck will find its way to the near side corner. Eventually freed up. Small gets it. So he'll patiently bring this back behind the net of Mazenko. Near side, he works it to Fleming. Fleming will just dump this one in the neutral zone. Spencer got a quick touch on it, but horn sounds. Time expires in the first period. 20 minutes in the books. It's a tie game. Toros strike first, but the Mallards respond despite being outshot by 10 in the period.
Overall, if the Toros hold this pace and they put up 57 shots on goal, I like their chances to score again. But ultimately, it's an encouraging period if you're the Mallards. You came in, got outplayed for 17 minutes, and you're going to leave with a tie score.
And of course, if you're the Mallards, you would probably expect to have more than 9 shots on net in the second and third period. So, nonetheless, not a bad period for either squad as both get a goal on the board. Leaving this one tied up at 1 after 20 minutes of play on the Pepsi rink.
We'll keep it in. We'll have some billet appreciation in a moment. We don't have a player interview tonight. But a tough start for the Mallards, but they recover well. And I could have swore we've played this year, but He missed the gimme, Edward. That's going to make it hard.
Oh.
Not the prettiest shooting we've seen here tonight, Edward, but
Pressure's on, Ken, you know.
the white helmet just needs to hit one shot. This is to ice it. And he missed wide. Now we have our billet appreciation.
Great work, everybody. All right. So we got some billets to appreciate. Fans, it's time to meet tonight's billet family, the Meckleys. Tim is a supervisor for aggregate construction and has been with them for 34 years. Jody is an administrative assistant for the Plumbers and Steamfitters Union and has been with them for 10 years. They have lived in Minot for their entire lives and have been billets from the inaugural season. They don't currently have a billet, however, that is on their Christmas list. They've housed 35 players over their 14 years, and when asked what their favorite thing about being a billet was, they said, "We enjoy watching the players chase their dreams, meeting the billet families, traveling to watch former billet players play college hockey, weddings and having children of their own, meeting new people in and around the community that we would not have met if it were not for this great organization." They will now receive a cookie bouquet from Cookies For You and a gift card from Marketplace Foods. Fans, let's hear it one more time for the Meckleys.
And with that, we'll send it out to break. And when we come back, the Four Bears Casino Lodge Intermission Report here on the Minotauro Network.
When you carry blue, you get a devoted team backing you up, focused on you and your well-being, making it easier and affordable for you to make health a priority. When you carry blue, you get a health plan that anticipates your challenges, that's helping shape the future of healthcare, with more helpful tools and resources so you can get the most out of your benefits and focus more on living your best life. Find your plan today. Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota. Carry blue, carry on.
Our history sets us on our path. From the moment we're born, we begin our walk through life. We learn so we can discover. We find our passion and develop our skills. We build relationships. We start thinking about what we're going to leave behind to those we love. Let our legacy help shape yours. First International Bank and Trust. No matter your place in life, we can help you live first.
As far as what Plains Ag has to offer, great pay along with some of the best benefits that I've seen in the job market.
The company understands the importance of family and family values. You need to have that time with your children. Plains Ag is 100% family oriented.
I love working here, very helpful.
There's no problem it feels like we can't solve when we're working together.
Go to plainsag.com, fill out the application, and we'll be in touch with you shortly.
Tomorrow might be hard to see, but tomorrow is right in front of us. And we're always looking towards it. Investing another $4 billion in renewable energy and low-carbon solutions through 2025. And lowering emissions by modernizing our infrastructure, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
The puck. The net, the crowd, the moment, a chance to make history. Just like that perfect play, we're here to help you win at your financial game. At Great River Federal Credit Union, we offer competitive rates and innovative technology designed to empower you to achieve your goals. Become a member of Great River and score a $100 bonus when you use promo code Hockey100. Visit greatriverfcu.org/Hockey100 for details and open your account. Member NCUA.
The Lamplighter is Minot's premier liquor store. Whether you're looking for wine, cold beer, or a fine bourbon, stop in and browse our selection, or make a quick stop at our convenient drive-thru. The Lamplighter Lounge and Liquor Store.
Since 1977, Northwest Tire's been your partner on the road for over 40 years. People have put their trust in our quality brand tires and expert service on the roads and in the fields for work, play, and travel. Northwest Tire, keeping you rolling down the road.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
In life, there's good, better, and the best. The same theme applies for our car and light truck tires at Northwest Tire. We offer you good tires, better tires, and the best tires. Which choice is right for you? That depends on your tire performance needs and your budget. The choice is yours. Come in and talk to one of our tire experts and we'll help you decide which tire is best for you.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business. Making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
No. Oh! Wait! We have an emergency party!
A state-of-the-art hospital and medical office building built with you in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district. Now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
I think we have some pickles downstairs. Honey, got some good news and some bad news.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
I've been canning my whole life. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Today I finished the raspberry jam.
That's my favorite kind.
Well, here, take it with you.
Thanks, Grandma.
Now for my prize collection. Each jar shows the year it was canned. That way I won't forget when I put it in here.
Grandma, what's that?
Oh. Your grandfather and I worked so hard for this. It's our life savings.
In a jar?
Canning is really the best way to preserve anything.
It's true. The way we've always done it isn't always the best way. See how we're changing for the better at Aspire.
Grandma, you can bank from your phone now.
Oh, wow.
Aspire Credit Union. Aspire to more.
And welcome back to the Minotauro Network. It's the Four Bears Casino and Lodge Intermission Report. After one period of play, it's tied up at 1 apiece. Tauros and Mallards both get a goal in the period. It was the Tauros who got the scoring started, courtesy of Adam Mahler on his 6th goal of the year. Assists on that one credited to Jesse Uhala and Billy Batten. just over 14 minutes into the period, but then it was the Mallards responding. Merrick Thompson with his 4th goal of the season, assist coming from Brady Borgstad and Grant Conan to even this game up at 1 apiece. Shots on net through 1 period of play in favor of the Tauros. 19-7 Tauros with 2 power play opportunities, cashing in on the second one as they go 1 for 2 on the extra man advantage for the period. But with that, we'll get to our out-of-town scoreboard. So all games are in play. No games up in Alaska this weekend, so everyone currently playing as we speak. Let's get to some of these scores. Rochester and Johnstown tied up at 2 apiece. That one just under 15 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Northeast and Maryland also tied at 2 apiece with just over 16 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Danbury up big on New Hampshire 4-1. Under 10 minutes to play in regulation. Out east, Elmira and New Jersey. Elmira with a 2-1 lead at the 2nd intermission. Maine and Philadelphia tied at 2 apiece. That one at the 2nd intermission. Shamrocks up 3-1 on Bismarck. Just over 6 minutes to play in the 2nd period down in South Dakota. Anchorage on the road at the Wisconsin Wendigo. They lead 3-0 as the final few seconds of the 2nd period tick down. Back in the Central Division, St. Cloud and Austin, they're tied, or I should say they're scoreless. That one, though, I don't believe is underway quite yet as they just about get ready to drop the puck. The Wilderness lead the Jets 2-1. That one also at the 2nd intermission. Kenai and Springfield knotted up at deuces. Under 5 to play in the 2nd period. Aberdeen up 3-1 on North Iowa. Aberdeen in search of their 15th win on the year. Just over 6 minutes to play in the 2nd period down in Mason City, Iowa. Down in Texas, it's Odessa up 1-0 on Lone Star. 15.5 to play in the 2nd period of that one. Fairbanks over in Chippewa, they're up 4-0 at the 1st intermission. Corpus Christi leads the Oklahoma Warriors 2-0. That one also at the 1st intermission. Shreveport with a 1-0 lead on the El Paso Rhinos halfway through the 1st period in that one. And the last score of the night, New Mexico and Colorado scoreless. Just under 5 minutes of play in the 1st period. Take a look at our standings before we get too far into the night. Bismarck leading the division in 1st place, 21-2-1, 43 points on the year. So that's good for 8 points of separation of the 2nd place Austin Bruins. Then the Tauros in 3rd place. The Tauros trail the Bruins by 4 points. The Wings hold the 4th place position of 14-7-1, 29 points. Then St. Cloud, North Iowa, Minnesota, and Watertown round out the bottom half. So that's a look at everything around the division and beyond. But we'll send it out for one last break, and when we come back, 2nd period action here on the Minotauro Network.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
At Northwest Tire, we're part of your community, and we want you to be part of our family. We're about more than tires. We're about superior customer service to keep your vehicles and equipment safely rolling down the road. If you'd like to join a company that truly cares for our customers and employees, come work with us and become part of our growing family. Apply at nwtire.com.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
The all-new Emergency Trauma Center, built with your reassurance in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
And welcome back in to the Mesa Arena as we are about to get set for the second period of play on this Friday night game between the Tauros and Mallards. Both teams tied up at 1 goal apiece. Tauros get on the board early. Adam Mahler was the one to net the first goal of the night, but the Mallards did respond. Merrick Thompson even the score at 1 apiece. Get to some more check-ins here on socials, though, as we await the next 20 minutes. Tyler Clinton, Leslie McKay checking in on Facebook. Gerald Morgan aboard also on Facebook as well. Andy and Ohani's dad watching on NATV. Good to see you guys aboard. Appreciate you checking in. And Spencer checking in on Facebook. And Whitney Evans also joining us on Facebook as well. Tauros looking to climb up the Central Division standings this weekend, 15-6-1 on the year. They trail the Bruins, who are in second place, by 4 points. Tauros with 4 straight against this Minnesota squad. Of course, 2 of those games, the first 2 tonight and tomorrow, coming on the Pepsi rink. But then the Tauros travel back down to Forest Lake for the second time this year, next weekend, to take on the Mallards. As always, you can watch that game on NATV or the free audio broadcast on the Tauros Facebook and YouTube pages. But next game tomorrow night, it's the Shields Teddy Bear Toss here at Mesa Arena. So, of course, we want to encourage all fans to come out to that one. Asking for new or gently used teddy bears or stuffed animals you can toss on the ice after the first Toro goal. All of those teddy bears and stuffed animals donated to charities and organizations all around the Minot area and beyond. Of course, the 10,000 all-time teddy bear mark is in play. I'll have to get Ken in on this to give the exact number, but that's definitely a goal tomorrow night. So I believe it's the 13th year that we've done that, so definitely encourage fans to be in attendance for the teddy bear toss tomorrow. But back here, puck is down, and maybe not down quite yet, but it's about to be down for the second period of play. Tie up off the draw, puck will free up and be controlled by the Tauros in the neutral zone. Hacked down into the offensive zone by Mahler. Small will fire one wide of the net out to the near side. Mahler will hack one towards center ice. Again, it's Ganetz, though, getting in the way of that one and sending it back to the neutral zone. Near side, it's Borgstad. Borgstad will dump this one in as that puck will ring around the Toro net. Far side, it's met by Hayes. Hayes sends it back the other way. Mahler's there fourth there for the Toros as he'll feed it up to Fleming as this puck gets tipped off the stick of a Mallard out to the neutral zone and sent back the other way. But that'll get whistled dead with 19:28 to go.
It's an offside play. At the dump in with the man offside, hit the goaltender.
So the draw will come back out to neutral. Small and on the draw for the Toros. As this is carried back the other way, Small along the far side boards. He'll get held up by Dakota Bailey. Puck still bouncing around free as eventually it's hacked in to the Mallards territory by Small. Mallards retreat behind their own net to get to this one. Kaldenbach works it far side to O'Flynn. O'Flynn will give to neutral zone. Eli Bailey chases after that one. Tauros will get to it. Bailey was on a rush there. If he was able to corral that one, couldn't do so. Tauros send it back the other way as O'Flynn will work this out of the defensive zone. Far side, Dakota Bailey working along the boards in front of the Mallards bench will get this puck freed up and taken away by the Tauros. Spencer looks towards the direction of Small in the offensive zone as this puck is tipped high up and out of play for a whistle.
We just lost all the shots on goal. What happened there? And the score...
So,
what's going on?
Draw out to Spaniel's right side. Batten will be in on the draw for the Tauros. It's going to be a Mueller in there for Minnesota. Draws one and controlled by the Mallards. Far side corner, it's Davidson. Davidson will work it up along the boards. This one goes wide. As icing is waved off there, Tauros behind their own net. Batten in there as he'll eventually carry this one free. He'll give to Ohannes, and Ohannes in neutral zone. Back to Yahala. Yahala across the blue line he goes. Davidson was standing in the lane there as this one's carried down to the near side corner as it's sent back into the neutral zone by the Mallards. Hagstrom gets sent down to the ice. So the Mallards carry this one across the blue line as Mueller is in the far side corner looking back towards the blue line. Pass cut off by Yahala, turning it back the other way. Ohannes along the near side. He skates in. He'll just dump this one in behind the Mallards net. Mallards are there for it as this is worked back the other way along the far side boards. Still Poole giving to Manlove. Manlove will dump this one in off the stick of Mazenko, up and out of play for a whistle. 17:45 to go in the period. Shots on net in favor of the Tauros, 19-9.
I imagine that'll become 10 in just a second as Mazenko made that save, but maybe not. Maybe they're not going to credit him with one. Maybe Scorebox thinks that one was headed wide, which means after the first period saw 28 shots in 20 minutes, we've played 2:15 without a shot on goal.
Mallards working in the offensive zone, near side corner. Gibbs battling up along the boards for the Tauros. Both teams sending guys in there. It's a 2-on-2 battle. Puck pinned up. Both teams will still work it free eventually. It's worked down the boards and sent back out to neutral by the Tauros. Ganetz is there forward in the Mallards territory. Ganetz, pressured by Sabulis, will eventually get a pass off to the near side boards. Manlove hits the ice, so Tauros took it away. But Funk's pass towards the middle of the ice gets broken up by Pyle and skated back the other way.
This should be, they'll wave off the icing. Good work by Chuck Owens.
Near side, it's Manlove. Manlove losing his handle, so he'll leave it for Ganetz. Ganetz will throw in high of the net into the offensive zone as the Mallards go for a change. Tauros work it back out to neutral. Ramirez picks it up. Ramirez into the offensive zone. That puck will roll off his stick as the Mallards poke it back out to neutral. Tauros will have to reset. Tauros will dump one in. Borgstad will leave it in neutral. Eventually will gather it along the near side as he'll carry this one free. Sabulis, or excuse me, that was Nichols who hit the ice there. So the Mallards send it back into the Tauros zone. Mazenko out of his net will work it free to the near side corner. Picked up though by Hayes. Hayes out to the far side. His pass goes off the stick of Ramirez, up and out of play for another whistle.
Not much flow to the start of this period. Nothing on net. Again, as I mentioned, 28 shots in the first period. Still 28 shots combined now as we approach 4 minutes played.
Draw will come out to Spaniel's right side. It's the small Marvin Cordes and Spencer line out for the Toros, the defensive unit, James and Tui. They'll tie up off the draw. Toros quickly get it. Spencer tries a backhanded shot that gets caught up. Toros, they'll work another one as James hits the net. Cleanup try by Tui will hit the net and go in. Toros lead 2-1. It was James's initial shot that went off iron. As Tui cleaned that one up
for his first as a Toro
and hammered it home. The Toros net one less than 5 into the period as we get our goal call.
Maybe.
Minotauros goal brought to you by Northern Plains Equipment. Scoring his first goal as a Toro, number 38, Connor Tui. Assisting on the goal, Ian Spencer and Ty James. Time of the goal, 4 minutes, 1 second.
Brief opportunity there for the Mallards.
That's a big save for Mazenko.
Yeah.
Toros do the work to retake the lead. You don't want to go right back into a tie game. We saw this Mallards team on the Friday game in Minnesota erase a couple of Toro leads.
Couple of shots on net. Mazenko once again holding strong.
That last one he wasn't sure about. He took a peek behind him. A shot that never left the ice.
Vanderway, who's in on the draw for the Mallards. Good weekend last weekend, 3 goals and assist. As the Mallards picked up those 2 wins. Draw out to Mazenko's right side is quickly sent to the near side corner. Gannett tries to save it in the offensive zone, couldn't do so. Owens back the other way, Owens skating in. Will just feed one towards the net. That one bounces to Spaniel's left side. Nothing going there for the Toros, though. This one is worked out to the far side boards. Vanderway hits the ice. Funk comes up with it. Tarbulis will feed one towards the center there. The Toros still controlling the offensive zone. Sabulis along the far side will give it to Fleming. Fleming work it back down the boards as this puck will ring around. The Mallards net near side is Mallard. Mallard will fire one with a lot of traffic in front of the net of Spaniel. Eventually sent back out to the neutral zone. Toros will gather, but they'll have to reset as this is skated across the blue line. Going to be called for an offsides. Funk couldn't quite hold the line.
Mahler never actually touched that puck.
14:30 to go here in the period. Toros was still a 10-shot advantage overall on this Minnesota team as we get a look at our player heating up. It's going to be Murray Marvin Cordes, a goal and 8 assists, but 4 of those assists came last weekend against Watertown. Definitely a factor in those 2 Toro wins. So the neutral zone draw controlled by Minnesota. They'll retreat into their own zone to set up shop. O'Flynn tries to work it down the ice. Pass cut off by the Toros and sent back in. James hacks it down the near side boards. Puck will settle its way around the blue line as the Toros will chase after one that's sent down to the far side boards. Bovey's there for it. Bovey will work it down the boards as this one's fanned on, but eventually controlled by O'Flynn. O'Flynn will dump it back behind the Toro net. Toro's there for it. Hagstrom works it back the other way. It's Nichols chasing after one. Nichols will gather this one in the offensive zone. A feed there to Edwards. Doesn't quite find its way. Cleanup try, though, as Tui finds this one. Tui will send it back around to Edwards. Edwards tries to find Ramirez in front of the net. Mallards, though, cut that pass off and skate it back the other way and eventually just dump it in and go for a change.
Norsemen and Bruins finally getting underway. Bus troubles for the Norsemen delayed the start of that one.
This one sent back the other way as Manlove sends one in as the Tauros will dig this out of their own zone and throw it back down the other way. Just over 13 minutes to play here in the second period. Tauros with a 1-goal advantage, near-sided, small out of the corner. Will skate through two Mallards defenders. Eventually is held up along the boards. One-timer here by Marvin Cordes. Pad save there by Spaniel. Far side, though, is Gibbs picking up the rebound. Gibbs will give to Spencer. Spencer pinned up against the wall as Small hits the ice, puck freed up and trickling out to neutral and eventually into the Tauros zone. Mallards cleared that puck out. So the Tauros are back to retrieve this one.
Fans thought Small drew a penalty at that last offensive rush, but Tauros have had the game's only 2 power play opportunities so far.
Another look at this wraparound try for the Mallards. Mazenko easily falling on that one. Kind of a different story than last week, and not a whole lot of post-whistle antics so far in this one. Of course, Ken, you touched on it pregame. Saw a little bit of that in the last series as both teams got a little physical. Carried back into the neutral zone as this one's tip free. Borgstad skates in the offensive zone. Borgstad trying to center that puck. Good job there by the Tauros to cut that one off.
It was Fleming who did well to get back. And it was Hunter Hayes in the neutral zone with a good stick to create that rush.
So the Mallards will lose this one at the blue line. Yahala will give to Ohanis, and Ohanis into the offensive zone will find Batten. Batten will fire one into the glove of Spaniel for a whistle. Good passing there from the Tauros.
I thought for sure that was going to be the 100th point for Ohani on the setup, but a good glove.
That will force an offensive zone draw for the Tauros. 11:39 to play here. It's the Owens line out there. Owens in on the draw for the Tauros.
Bismarck and Watertown tied at 3-aside at the second break.
Bismarck there with 2 quick goals. Last time we checked in on that, it was Watertown up 3-1, so good action all around the Central Division. Mallards in the offensive zone will dump this one behind the Toro net. James skates after this. He'll send it back the other way. Owens getting after this one in the neutral zone. Will work it down the board. Sabulis picks it up. Offensive zone. Sabulis fires one off the pad of Spaniel out to the far side. Owens races after this one and throws it off the far side. Boards puck will end up at the far side as Dakota Bailey's the one to feed this one out of the zone. Delayed offsides. Doros to peel back as Dakota Bailey skates this out of the defensive zone back the other way is Bailey in the offensive zone. A centering pass there. Cut off by Sabulis. Sabulis will find Funk. Funk runs into a good stick in neutral zone. Nonetheless, the Tauros dump this one in. Well, Flynn in the neutral zone will throw one on net. That puck will squirt free in front of Mazenko. Good job there by the Tauros to clear that one out. That puck awkwardly was out in front of Mazenko for a moment. The Tauros carry this across the blue line. Ramirez into the offensive zone looking towards Edwards. Edwards couldn't settle that one down, so it's Bovia turning this one back the other way for the Mallards. Bovia will clear this one down. The Tauros work it out of their own zone. Far side, it's Ramirez hitting the ice, so he loses his handle. Mallards pick it up. We'll dump it in behind the net of Mazenko. Under 10 minutes to play here. Far side, the Mallards work. Gannett's at the blue line. Will skate in and hit the ice. Manlove.
Tauros will go to the kill for the first time.
Also trying to hack at that one as the Tauros touch up. It's going to be Jack Edwards going to the box. The Tauros will hit the Papa John's PK.
It'll be Spencer and Small to start with Mahler and Fleming behind him. It's one of the strongest penalty kill quartets I've ever seen in Cream and Cardinal. Spence and Small have just such good chemistry, and now Fleming and Mahler both played so many games in this league.
Mallards in the offensive zone. Flynn will work at the Gannett's. Gannett's with a shot. Batted out down to the near side is Eli Bailey chasing after one behind the Toro net. Gannett's along the far side. He gets poked at by Spencer. Spencer really getting in there as the Mallards will throw one into traffic. Toros work it back the other way. Spencer picks it up in neutral zone. Spencer hustling down the ice, skating into the offensive zone. Spencer trying a shot, a cleanup try there. Fended off is Spencer with a little bit of a push there on the shorthanded breakaway. Toros get to one in the neutral zone. They'll dump this one in. Just over a minute on the extra man advantage for the Mallards. 8:45 to play in the second period. Gannett's will leave this to Conan. Conan across the blue line will get called for offsides.
Best chance of this power play so far belongs to the Toros, who are on the kill.
Owens in on the neutral zone draw for the Toros. Hayes wins it though as the Mallards will set up in their own zone. Thompson will skate this behind the net of Spanuel and start back up ice along the far side. He'll gain the line as he'll carry this through the zone. Near side, he'll feed to Bovey. Bovey will skate this one in. Bovey will give it into the corner as Dakota Bailey trying to handle this one. Toros poking at it. It's Gibbs in there for the Toros. Puck eventually will free up and end up in the possession of the Mallards. From the far side is Mueller. Mueller will find Bailey. Bailey with a one-timer try there into the glove of Mazenko for a whistle. 20 seconds on the dot remain on the Papa John's PK for the Toros.
That was a good find by Bowie, I believe, out of the corner to find Dakota Bailey up high. Will Mazenko found him too and was able to hold on.
Draw out to Mazenko's right side. As Bailey hits the ice off the draw, work down the near side, carried back the other way by the Toros. Fleming across the line in the offensive zone, centering pass to Spencer. Goes off of Spaniel. Another good opportunity there. Short-handed for the Toros as the final few seconds tick off the Mallards' power play. As Toros come full strength, Edwards released from the box. Mallards skating this one in the offensive zone. It's Mallard there, though, for the Toros. Turnover, though, as Hayes picks this one up. Hayes tries a shot on net. As Mazenko is able to fend that opportunity off. He's eventually poked out to the far side and sent back down the ice by Fleming.
It's a good play by Small behind the net to deny the Mallards a chance to get to the front.
Toros out of their own zone. It's Tui to the far side. This puck will find its way up across the blue line as Small is being held up along the boards by O'Flynn causes the puck to work free. Mallards poke it back out to neutral. This one's chipped high up into the air and eventually dumped in by Manlove. Tui's there for it. He'll find Small. Small out of the defensive zone will leave for James. James will skate this one as Marvin Cordes finds Spencer. Spencer fires one just wide of the net.
I think he was looking for a tip from James, who was in deep off the rush.
Conan throws one high of the net of Mazenko, so it's the Tauros finding it near side corner, worked up to Marvin Cordes. Marvin Cordes to Spencer. Spencer chips this one into the offensive zone. Yahala back around the Mallards net. Yahala in the near side corner, working it to O'Hannison. O'Hannison finds Yahala back, but puck works free as Del Pool is there for it as the Mallards turn it up the other way into neutral. Gibbs in the defensive zone for the Tauros. He'll throw it off the near side boards as Ganetz is there for it. Ganetz will run into Gibbs, though, as the Tauros find the turnover. Batten into the offensive zone will fire one up and out of play.
Don't see that often in this building. It got over the protective mesh.
So we hit our media timeout. 5:36 to go here. Take a look at the Central Division team leaders for the Tauros. It's Ian Spencer with 30. As he only trails Lorenzo. Lorenzo with 40 for the Bruins entering tonight. Bulgakov with 28 for the Wings. The point leader here for the Mallards, though, is Konen. Those 19 points coming by way of 3 goals. Excuse me, by 6 goals and 13 assists.
Shots 26-19. So the Mallards, thanks in part to the power play, outshooting the Tauros 12-7 in this middle frame.
Draw out to Spaniel's right side. It's the Mallards trying to free this one up. Picked up, though, by Yahala. Yahala in behind the Mallards net will give to Batten. Batten skate it back the other way. Vanderway trying to poke at this one. Tauros, though, continue to control. Mahler from the near side will fire one into the glove of Spaniel for a whistle.
I don't know if we're going to have a replay of that or not, but O'Hannison did such a good job in front of the net. It was earlier on this sequence, but he was working so hard to find soft space where he'd be able to get the shot off quickly. He was open 3 or 4 times, but only for a moment. If the Tauros find him on any of those, that puck's probably in the back of the net.
This one's sent neutral as Owens pokes it back into the offensive zone. Bovee will give to Davidson. Davidson along the near side. Tauros working this one deeper into the zone, but is eventually freed up into neutral by the Mallards. Tauros dump it in, though. Under 5 to play here in the second period. Spaniel will give to Davidson. Davidson up the near side. As Tauros with an offensive zone takeaway here as Funk eventually finds that puck as Owens will try to feed Funk in front of the Mallard net. Mallards, though, eventually get to it.
That's the perfect example there. Same thing. Tauros have the puck behind the net. Funk and Owens are standing still. You go back and watch that last shift by O'Hannison. He was moving all the time to give his teammates an option. Good stand-up by Gibbs on Bowie.
As that will be covered and held by Mazenko. Get another replay of that. Gibbs making Mazenko's job that much easier. The draw will come out to Mazenko's left side. Edwards in on the draw for the Tauros. It's Pyle out there for Minnesota. Draw immediately won by the Mallards along the far side corner. It's O'Flynn. O'Flynn shoveling one towards the center of the Tauros net. Nobody home as the Tauros clear the puck out of the zone, forcing the Mallards to retrieve it out of the defensive zone. Good stick there by Nichols to break up a carry out of the defensive zone by the Mallards. Far side, Ramirez picks it up. Ramirez will find Gibbs. Gibbs at the blue line, center ice will send it off the near side boards. Puck will ring around the Mallards net. Far side, it's Nichols there taking a hit and losing his stick as the Mallards carry it free down the near side boards. Eventually,
an offside play
on the blue line for an offside. 3:31 to go here. As the draw will come back out to neutral. Small out there for the Tauros, along with Spencer and Marvin Cordes. As this one gets chopped into the Mallards territory, Gannett's back for this one. He'll carry it free, neutral. Along the near side boards, Tauros poke it back the other way. Borgstad's there for it, though, as he dumps it in. Tauros deep in their own zone. It's Clark behind the net of Mizanko. Clark sends it down to the near side as James will find Marvin Cordes back cross ice to Small. Small across the blue line. Will give to Spencer. Spencer looking back towards Small, but a bouncing puck finds a Mallard stick as that gets cleared out neutral. Quickly carried back the other way by James. James hits the ice as the Mallards send it back down the ice. Races on for the loose puck. Clark working up as Borgstad tries to hammer one on net. Good job there by Mizanko to keep that out of the back of the net.
That's a huge save by Mizanko, and another.
Mizanko out to cover and hold this one. 2:35 to play here in the second period. It was good hustle there by Conan, though, to beat Clark to the puck as that rolled to the blue line. And a couple of good opportunities here for the Mallards. But Mizanko meets him in the crease, and Mizanko really starting to find his footing here for the Tauros. We mentioned it last week, but worth mentioning again. I mean, beyond that one start in Mason City, Mizanko starting to settle into this role and
top 10 in everything now for goaltenders. At least in save percentage and goals against average, which are the main things they can control.
Tauros working at this in the offensive zone. O'Hannison will fire one in on net. That one easily saved and covered by Spaniel. 2:10 to go here in the second period. Tauros up 2-1. But worth mentioning, the Mallards making a little headway with shots on net. They lead that department 16-9 this period. Draw out to Spaniel's left side. Tauros had the offensive zone draw for a moment. Puck bounces around, though. Mallards getting a couple hacks at it and eventually gathering this one. Mueller across the blue line. He'll give near side as a shot towards the Tauros net gets cut off through traffic. Good job there by Bowie, though, hustling near side as the Tauros carry this out of the defensive zone. It's Yahala. Yahala into the offensive zone will leave for O'Hannison. O'Hannison with a pass. Yahala trying to feed one into the back of the net, wide left. Tauros, though, still in the offensive zone. One timer here by Mahler. That one caught up in front of the Mallards. Net couldn't net one there, though. A good couple of opportunities there for the Tauros, and it's the O'Hannison line once again causing havoc in the offensive zone.
And the Tauros will head to the power play.
Be the third time tonight the Tauros will be on the First Western Bank and Trust power play. It's Mueller going to the box. A minute 20 to play in the second period, so get another look at the call here.
You can't do that. I love it, man.
Mallards win the defensive zone draw. Mallards there to keep it in the offensive zone. Mallards skating far side will give to Batten. Batten working it back down along the boards to Ohannes, and Ohannes into Mahler at the blue line. Mahler finds Yahala. Yahala will skate it back up. He'll leave for Ohannes, and Ohannes will fire one. Gets tipped wide to the far side. Ohannes finds it in the corner. A broken stick on the ice, and that's going to be DePoole's stick. So the Mallards down a man and also down another stick. Mahler will find Ohannes. Ohannes fires when that one rolling around is eventually covered and held by Spaniel.
So close for Ohanny again. That trickles through and then just goes outside of the post instead of in.
So the Tauros with 1:18 to go on the power play, 37.9 to go in the second period, though. Tauros win the offensive zone draw. It's Spencer with the puck. Spencer finds Ohannes far side. Ohannes will fire one into the glove of Spaniel for another whistle.
A minute 11 left on the power play, but only 30.9 left in the period, so barring a goal or another infraction, the Tauros will finish the period on the power play. And it seems like they're trying to feed Ohannes.
Mallards in the defensive zone will win the draw, but Kaldenbach's going to be held up along the boards, so the Tauros take it right back. Mahler from the far side point will send it off the boards. It's Ohannes feeding Batten. Batten at the goal line will give back to Ohannes. Mahler to Ohannes. Ohannes fires one. That one easily fended off. Far side corner, though. It's Batten. 10 seconds to play in the period. Mahler will give to Yahala. Yahala from the near side. Back up top to Mahler. Ohannes with the puck will fire one. That one batted down and poked free by Spaniel as this one is thrown back out. Time expires, 40 minutes in the books. Tauros lead 2-1 after 2 periods of play. They'll have 40 seconds to go on that power play at the start of the third period. Nonetheless, Tauros, though, get another one and hold this lead into the second intermission. As we'll keep it here for some chuck-a-puck action. What I will say to the Mallards' credit, healthy amount of shots, especially in the first half of that period on net. Tauros, though, closed the distance on that power play, but Mallards outshoot the Tauros, still 16-14 in that period. Trailing one is definitely a doable feat. Was still a period to play. It was Connor Tui's, though. Connor Tui's goal, his first in the Tauros uniform, the difference in the period. Spencer and James credited with the assists. So we get to some chuck-a-puck action here.
So, we've been up here a few months now, Edward. We're usually pretty busy here in the broadcast booth. Have you played Chuck-a-Puck yet?
I have not. Haven't had the opportunity yet.
All right, so that's the goal for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing a couple pucks and bringing them up here. We're in a prime spot.
I was going to say
our pucks.
the angle here is I don't think you can really get a better angle of the tire than the press box. Seen a couple go in so far this year.
Take a look at the out-of-town board. Third period underway in Watertown. Cats and Shamrocks still 3 aside. Austin and Alex Lorenza have a 1-0 lead on St. Cloud. Aberdeen and North Iowa tied at 3 aside. That one is mid-third period in North Iowa. North Iowa 9-11-2 on the season. Trying to remember how many games they won last year. I think it was single digits. Let's take a look back at last year's final standings. No, they got to 11 last year. So North Iowa with a chance, if they can pull this out against Aberdeen, to pull within one win of last year's win total. And they can do it before Christmas.
A big win for the Bulls as well. They're on a 6-game skid, so a lot of competitive games around the Central Division. But with that, we'll send it to break, and when we come back, the Four Bears Casino and Lodge intermission report here on the Tauros Network.
A devoted team backing you up, focused on you and your well-being, making it easier and affordable for you to make health a priority. When you carry Blue, you get a health plan that anticipates your challenges, that's helping shape the future of healthcare, with more helpful tools and resources so you can get the most out of your benefits and focus more on living your best life. Find your plan today. Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Dakota. Carry Blue. Carry on.
Our history sets us on our path. From the moment we're born, we begin our walk through life. We learn so we can discover. We find our passion and develop our skills. We build relationships. We start thinking about what we're going to leave behind to those we love. Let our legacy help shape yours. First International Bank and Trust. No matter your place in life, we can help you live first.
As far as what Plains Ag has to offer, great pay along with some of the best benefits that I've seen in the job market.
The company understands the importance of family and family values. You need to have that time with your children. Plains Ag is 100% family oriented.
I love working here, very helpful.
There's no problem it feels like we can't solve when we're working together.
Go to plainsag.com, fill out the application, and we'll be in touch with you shortly.
Tomorrow might be hard to see, but tomorrow is right in front of us. And we're always looking towards it. Investing another $4 billion in renewable energy and low carbon solutions through 2025. And lowering emissions by modernizing our infrastructure, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
The puck, the net, the crowd, the moment. A chance to make history. Just like that perfect play, we're here to help you win at your financial game. At Great River Federal Credit Union, we offer competitive rates and innovative technology designed to empower you to achieve your goals. Become a member of Great River and score a $100 bonus when you use promo code HOCKEY100. Visit greatriverfcu.org/hockey100 for details and open your account. Member NCUA.
The Lamplighter is Minot's premier liquor store. Whether you're looking for wine, cold beer, or a fine bourbon, stop in and browse our selection, or make a quick stop at our convenient drive-thru. The Lamplighter Lounge and Liquor Store.
Since 1977, Northwest Tire's been your partner on the road for over 40 years. People have put their trust in our quality brand tires and expert service on the roads and in the fields for work, play, and travel. Northwest Tire, keeping you rolling down the road.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
In life, there's good, better, and the best. The same theme applies for our car and light truck tires at Northwest Tire. We offer you good tires, better tires, and the best tires. Which choice is right for you? That depends on your tire performance needs and your budget. The choice is yours. Come in and talk to one of our tire experts and we'll help you decide which tire is best for you.
Life is for living. And at First International Bank and Trust, we're all about living, helping your dreams come true. Because we're not just in the banking business. We're in the first home business, the community sponsorship business, the how do I make this happen business. Making your banking life easy so you can focus on what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
No, 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 no. Oh! Wait! We have an emergency fund! Oh!
A state-of-the-art hospital and medical office building built with you in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district. Now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
I think we have some pickles downstairs. Oh. Honey, got some good news and some bad news.
And welcome back to the Minotauro Network inside the Mesa Arena. Tauros lead at 2-1 here on the Pepsi rink. A lone goal in the period off the stick of Connor Toohey, his first of the year in a Tauros uniform, is enough to give the Tauros the lead after 40 minutes of play. Ian Spencer and Ty James on the assists. Quickly take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as we get some updates around the league. Rochester and Johnstown goes final. The Junior Americans with a 4-2 win over Johnstown. Maryland with a 4-3 victory over Northeast. That one in a shootout. Danbury with a 6-2 win over New Hampshire. Elmira beats New Jersey 4-1. Maine drops one to Philadelphia 4-2. Watertown regains the lead at home. They lead the Bobcats 4-3 with 12:07 to go in the third period. Wisconsin, the Wendigo, that is, trailing Anchorage 4-1 at home. About a minute and a half to play in the third period of that one. Austin still hanging on to that 1-0 lead against St. Cloud. The Wilderness up 3-1 on the Jets. Kenai and Springfield tied up down in Illinois, 3 apiece. North Iowa gets a 4-3 lead over Aberdeen as that game is in the late stages of the third period down in Mason City. Lone Star and Odessa. Lone Star leads Odessa 3-1. The Ice Dogs, Fairbanks, that is, with a big lead over Chippewa, 7-0 after 2 periods of play. Corpus Christi hanging on to a 5-4 lead over Oklahoma. That one just hitting the second intermission. El Paso leads Shreveport 4-2. A little over 13 to play in the second period of that one. In New Mexico trails Colorado 2-1. Just over 7 minutes to play in the second period. So that'll bring us back inside the Mesa Arena. Want to remind fans, tomorrow night is Teddy Bear Toss night, presented by Shields. I haven't experienced one, but Grace Sandy has. Grace, tell us a little bit about Teddy Bear Toss here on the Pepsi rink.
Well, like Edward said, I have actually experienced a Teddy Bear Toss here at the Pepsi rink before him. I was here last year, and it's just electric. Once that first goal goes in, it's like lighting a match. It's like too explosive. It's so cool watching all of the teddy bears and all of the people that have brought teddy bears throw them onto the ice and like for good causes and stuff. And then also to see the guys, it reminds me of like little kids on Christmas almost. The players go out and start cleaning it up, and they like look like little kids on Christmas getting their teddy bears.
And if you want to see a POV from a teddy bear, we did release a fun promo video on our social medias.
We even got a little guest star from the Grinch.
Of how it looks for a teddy bear to be thrown on the ice, but I've seen it on the broadcast. It looks like a fun time. You mentioned it, Grace. It's all for good causes, too. Those teddy bears and stuffed animals donated to local organizations around the area and beyond. asking for new or gently used teddy bears or stuffed animals to throw on the ice after that first goal. Grace Tauros have been really good on teddy bear toss night. 9 wins out of the 13 years. So even more reason to be here at the Mesa Arena tomorrow night.
Yeah. And I also last year I got to be a part of delivering the bears to the charities, and it's just a very heartwarming thing to go around town and see how much joy you're bringing by dropping off some teddy bears for some kids that might not get a teddy bear this year for Christmas or anything like that.
So to say, you mentioned it too, especially it's good timing. Still a couple weeks until Christmas, I should say, so we'll have plenty of time to get these out to these organizations before the holiday. So definitely excited for that. You can buy tickets to tomorrow night's game at tickets.minotauroshockey.com. We want a packed house. No better place to be on a Saturday night here in Minot than the Pepsi rink. So once again, tickets.minotauroshockey.com. Same puck drop time, 7:35. Also your last opportunity to see the Tauros before they hit the road back down to Forest Lake to take on this same Mallards team. Grace, thank you once again for being on the Intermission Report. With that, we'll send it out for a break, and when we come back, the Truck a Puck shot and third period action here on the Minotauro Network.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
I've been canning my whole life. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Today I finished the raspberry jam.
That's my favorite kind.
Well, here, take it with you.
Thanks, Grandma.
Now for my prize collection. Each jar shows the year it was canned. That way I won't forget when I put it in here.
Grandma, what's that?
Oh. Your grandfather and I worked so hard for this. It's our life savings.
In a jar?
Canning is really the best way to preserve anything.
It's true. The way we've always done it isn't always the best way. See how we're changing for the better at Aspire.
Grandma, you can bank from your phone now.
Oh, wow.
Aspire Credit Union. Aspire to more.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
At Northwest Tire, we're part of your community, and we want you to be part of our family. We're about more than tires. We're about superior customer service to keep your vehicles and equipment safely rolling down the road. If you'd like to join a company that truly cares for our customers and employees, come work with us and become part of our growing family. Apply at nwtire.com.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
The all-new Emergency Trauma Center, built with your reassurance in mind. The new healthcare campus and medical district, now open in Minot. Trinity Health, making more possible.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust.
Welcome back inside the Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena as we get ready for some chuck-a-puck action.
Rory.
Shoot for $717. First puck is for 717. Good luck, Rory. That was very close, actually, and he gets 2 more tries. Second one is for $359. All right, maybe want to aim for that middle one. This one is for $179. That's okay because you get $50 towards an oil change. Give it up for Rory!
All right, Toro fans, let's get loud for this third period. So let's jump around.
So we bring you back in, about to get set for the third period. Tauros hanging on to a 2-1 lead over the Mallards. Connor Tui, the difference right now for the Tauros, netting his first of the season to give the Tauros the advantage, but a couple of different things in play for the Tauros. I haven't mentioned it yet, but 399 franchise wins coming into tonight. So with a win either tonight or tomorrow or whenever, 400 franchise wins for the Tauros. As for the Mallards, trying to keep a winning streak alive, they've won their last 2. The Tauros are back on the ice. It's been Will Mazenko with a good performance so far for the Tauros. Mazenko has saved 22 of 23 faced so far. So Mazenko with another good showing, at least through 2 periods of play here so far. And the Zane Spaniel hasn't been all that bad for the Mallards, saving 31 of 33.
I would venture to say not all that bad. He's been pretty darn good. He's made a few big saves to really change the complexion of this game.
Especially considering that it was Richard Rafai who was initially supposed to get the start and played through about 35 seconds before leaving the game.
North Iowa now with a 4-3 lead in Mason City. Still 1-0 Austin, and they're the first break. And get a load of this.
Yeah.
Shamrocks up 4-3 on Bismarck. You probably already knew that. I did not.
Shamrock's been battling hard tonight. They were up 3-1. Bismarck with, of course, a good pushback, and Watertown hanging tough. So puck is down. We are back underway. Third period action here. Small across the blue line. He'll get his pass cut off. Near side is Funk. Funk picks it up in the corner. He'll give it back to Small. Small to the blue line to Fleming. Fleming works it up ice as James will feed Edwards back to the blue line to James. Fleming now center ice finds Small near side. Tauros on the power play, about 10 seconds to remain. As this is sent free down to the near side corner, picked up by Funk. Funk around the Mallards net. We'll go back to the near side. One-timer here gets blocked by Del Pool. Rebound out to the near side. Tauros control. Mueller out of the box. Mallards full strength. Small sends one into traffic. Tipped wide out to the far side. Fleming brings it back around the net. Small from the near side. Once again, this one will be thrown into traffic off the stick of a Mallard, up and high in the air and sent back into the neutral zone. So we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Mallards getting some fresh legs on the ice. Tauros taking advantage of the change, though. The Mallards with a quick takeaway as this one is skated back the other way by Borgstad. Borgstad trying to find Cone in center ice. Good stick there by the Tauros to break that one up. Hayes far side in the offensive zone will give to Koning. Koning will fire one off the pad of Mazenko. Rebound out to the far side. It's kept into the offensive zone by Kaldenbach as he just dumps this one in. Near side is O'Flynn. They'll fire one into the offensive zone as the Mallards keep this one in at the blue line. James there takes down Borgstad as the Tauros take the puck away, but it's gathered right back by the Mallards as Conan trying to feed one on net going wide. Tauros take it back as this one's skated the other way as Uhala chases after a free puck. Kaldenbach beats him to it. Tauros weather a little bit of a early push there for the Mallards in this third period. Clark up ice into the offensive zone, will fire one into the glove of Spaniel for a whistle. 17:51 to go here in regulation. Tauros 34 shots on net.
Good drive to the net by Clark.
Draw will come out to Spaniel's right side. Yahala, Batten, and O'Hannison out there for the Tauros. This line created a lot of opportunities so far. O'Hannison still looking for that point. Mallards win the defensive zone draw. Davidson works it up the near side boards. Bowie will give it to Mueller. Mueller into the offensive zone as he'll look back towards Bowie. Bowie couldn't find that one as the Tauros take it away and turn it back up ice. Yahala will find O'Hannison. O'Hannison back to Yahala. Yahala from the corner will skate up the boards. One-timer here by Clark. That one bounces wide as the Mallards work it free back out into the neutral zone. Clark from the near side corner. He'll give to Batten. Batten cross the ice looking towards O'Hannison. O'Hannison couldn't settle that one down, but they just allow it to roll into the offensive zone and go for a change. This one carried back the other way by DePool. DePool will feed it down towards the near side. DeNoyer couldn't get a handle of that one. Tauros back into the neutral zone. Marvin Cordes picks this one up across the blue line. He'll ring it around the Mallard net. Near side is Small. Small firing one cut off by Ganez. Ganez finds a man far as his Manlove will fire one. Goes off the stick of Mazenko out to the far side corner. Manlove skating through a healthy amount of traffic. This puck free now. Mahler skating hard down the ice. Ganez will beat him to it. Ganez will hit the ice and slide into his own net.
Mallard's goal is off. And now they finally blow the whistle.
Good hustle there by Mahler down the ice. Ganez beat him to it, but lost his footing into the Mallard's net, causing it to come free.
They should put the draw back in the Mallard zone as the Mallards took their own net off. And they will.
Draw will be out to Spaniel's left side. It's going to be Small in there on the draw for the Tauros. It's Hayes in for Minnesota. The Tauros win the draw. Small loses his stick, but
Ty James. How did that one find its way through traffic?
Tauros lead 3-1. Good job by James to find that one. Small lost the stick off the draw. I was following him to the bench, but here's the goal call.
Plains Equipment. Goal scored by number 2, Ty James, his second of the season. Assisting on the goal, number 22, Murray Marvin Cordes. Also assisted on the goal, number 23, Ian Spencer. Time to go, 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
Mallards deep out of their own zone, feeds it near side. It's Dakota Bailey finding this one. Dakota Bailey across the blue line looking towards Vanderway. Vanderway feeding it as Eli Bailey crashed in on that one.
He had plenty of net, and Eli Bailey just missed it wide on the redirect.
This was kept into the offensive zone by Mueller. Mueller dumps it behind the Toro net near side corner. It's Eli Bailey working up against Gibbs. Toros turned free with it. It's Ramirez skating into the offensive zone. Ramirez will skate in behind the Mallards net. He's dumped to the ice. That's going to be called. The Toros once again going to the power play. Still Poole going to the box.
I went and spoke to our fans who brought trumpets. And unfortunately, they've been attending games for 2 years, but they are an Air Force family, and they are being sent to a new base. This is their final Toros game.
Toros win the offensive zone draw. Mahler from the blue line. He'll give to Yahala. Yahala down the ice to the corner to Batten. Batten eventually finds it and will give it back to Yahala. Yahala skates it down towards the goal line. Briefly loses the puck, but regains control. Back up to Mahler. O'Hannison now from the near side will feed to Mahler. Mahler far side to Yahala. Yahala will skate back up to the blue line before feeding it to Batten. With the feed in front of the net. That one down to the near side. O'Hannison hacking at this one is Batten will find the puck, but the puck will squirt free into the neutral zone. Toros will have to reset. Batten carries it into the offensive zone across the blue line. He'll skate into the near side corner, eventually around the net of Spaniel. It's Kaldenbach holding Batten up along the boards. Yahala finds the loose puck. Yahala from the far side will give to Batten. Batten back up top to Yahala. Yahala the feed down near side to O'Hannison. O'Hannison threads one through traffic to Spencer. Spencer finding Batten. Batten in front of the Mallards net. This one poked down to the near side as O'Flynn, loses his stick for a moment. Toros as O'Hannison will fire one. That one goes up and out of play. O'Hannison with some net to work with. Still looking for that point.
As he turned away, he said, "Are you kidding me?" There was another word in there, but I'm not allowed to say that on the broadcast. For those following along, we've got our first Four Bears over-under result. Toro shots on goal officially goes over 35.5.
Toros in the offensive zone, 45 seconds to work on the First Western Bank and Trust power play near side. It's Tui will feed up towards the blue line as Edwards will throw this one that's broken up by Eli Bailey and sent back out to the neutral zone as James will skate this one back up. James into the offensive zone will leave the puck along the boards to Edwards. Edwards to Fleming. Near side is Small. Back to Fleming. Fleming with a shot. That one poked free to the far side and cleared back down the ice. Final 10 seconds of this power play. 13:20 remain in regulation. Small into the offensive zone. He'll skate through traffic. Funk finds a loose puck. Will fire one as this one's hammered home. John Small. Toros lead of 4-1.
It's John Small with the putback. To extend the lead.
Minotauros goal brought to you by Northern Blades Equipment. Goal scored by number 18, John Small, his 14th of the season. Assisting on the goal, number 9, Brandon Funk. Power play goal scored at 6 minutes 49 seconds.
So the Tauros with a 3-goal advantage, 12 and a half minutes to play. Thompson will hack this out of his own zone. Tauros carry it free and neutral. It's given to Batten. Batten will just dump this one in. Urgency definitely playing a factor here for Minnesota, now trailing 3. Tauros picked this one up in the offensive zone. It's Davidson, though, getting a poke at that to free the puck back up. Mallards into the neutral zone. This one fired off the near side boards. Will go the distance for an icing. Quick look at your Central Division standings entering tonight. A lot of close games around the division.
And I think that just went final in Watertown unless we have a scorekeeper issue. It's zeros on the clock with the Shamrocks up 4-3. Meanwhile, Wings and Bulls head to overtime, even at 4s.
Tauros from behind their own net. It's fed out along the far side boards. Owens throws this off the glasses. Sabulis tries to race after this one. Gets held up by Ganez in front of the Mallards bench. So the Mallards turn it back the other way. Borgstad with space in the offensive zone will fire one wide of the net. Out to the far side, it's picked up by Tui. A good opportunity there for Borgstad. Just couldn't find the back of the net. So the Tauros carry this one back free into neutral zone. Funk crosses the blue line. Likes to wrap this one around the net as he tries to feed it center ice. Picked up by the Tauros. Mahler will fire one into the back of the net. Adam Mahler, his second of the night. Tauros lead 5-1.
That ties Adam Mahler with Colby Volk for most goals by a Toro defenseman.
As the Mallards will use their timeout. We send it over to public address announcer Josh Carlock for the goal.
Minotauros goal brought to you by Northern Plains Equipment. Goal scored by number 42, Adam Mahler, his 7th of the season. Assisting on the goal, number 88, Leo Sabulis. And number 11, Chuck Owens. With Mahler's goal, that ties him all time for Minotauros defenseman with Colby Volk with 21.
So, a little under 11 minutes to go. Tauros in the driver's seat, 5-1. This one sent back down the other way for icing.
Icing is brought to you by our friends at Minot's Finest Collision Center. Adam Mahler ties Colby Volk with 21 goals with his parents in the building.
Big collision there, center ice as Nichols finds Eli Bailey. Bailey
The
chases.
Mallards take exception and took a few extra shots at Nichols.
Dakota Bailey trying to lean into one against Nichols as this one's sent on net, covered and held by Spaniel. Really the first post whistle pushing and shoving we've seen all night. Not quite what we saw in the Friday night game down in Forest Lake, but nonetheless, draw will come into the Toro offensive zone.
Cody Campbell talking to the official, and that's with 10 minutes left in this one, and pretty much all of the drama taken out of it with the offensive explosion by the Toros here in the third. Cody Campbell just looking for the official to protect his players.
Draw out to Spaniel's left side. It's Smallin on the draw for the Toros. Mallards come up with it as this is skated back around the Minnesota net, fed to the near side. Bowie takes a hit from Hagstrom. That breaks that up as the puck trickles behind the Toro net. This one started back the other way. Small will find Spencer. Spencer along the near side boards will skate into the corner, trying to feed one back. It's eventually met by Hagstrom. Hagstrom fires one off the pad of Spaniel out to the near side corner, picked up and turned back the other way by Davidson. Is this cleared out in the neutral zone? Bowie will just dump this one back in. As the Toros reset out of their own zone, Spencer finds it, neutral zone. Spencer will leave for Small. Small trying to get a hold of that one, just loses it. So the Mallards back out to neutral. So the Toros work this one back the other way. Small finds Marvin Cordes. Marvin Cordes wraps around to the far side. Mallards find it and get a clear in as we're under 9.5 to play. This one goes the distance. 4 icing shots on net overall tonight in favor of the Toros, 41 to 27. So the Mallards getting outshot in this period 8 to 4. So the Toros have added 3. Just over 10 minutes into this third period of play. Toros win an offensive zone draw. Fleming will give to Ohannesson. Ohannesson hits the ice. He sends it down to the far side boards. Yahala gets a poke at on this one as Batten is also battling up against the boards. Batten frees up the puck and skates down to the near side. This one's met at the blue line by Mahler. Mahler will find Ohannesson. Ohannesson goes back far side to Mahler. Mahler will fire one. That one zipped wide out to Fleming near side. Fleming working up against Longneck this is skated in by Ohannesson. Ohannesson once again hitting the ice. Toros free up the puck though as Fleming finds it down along the blue line to Mahler. Mahler will fire one through traffic out down to the near side. Fleming back up top. It's Yahala from the near side point. He'll give to Mahler. Mahler far side center ice pass to Ohannesson. Ohannesson can't settle that one down as Mahler working up against 2 Mallards defenders. Out to the blue line to Ohannesson. Ohannesson firing one in. This one tipped down to the near side boards and carried back through the neutral zone as Ohannesson retrieves this one deep in the Toros territory. This is chipped high up into the air as it's shoveled back into the neutral zone. Near side, it's taken away by the Toros. Yahala skates this out into the neutral zone across the blue line to the far side boards as this one's sent off of the boards in the corner, eventually pinned up, freed up though by Yahala as Funk was working in there for the Toros. Sabulis picks it up. Sabulis skating in behind the Mallards net, out down to the near side. He'll give to Gibbs.
A power play.
From the blue line is Tui. Tui patient with this one. Will fire one in on net. Hammered home by Funk. Toros cash in again. This time it's Brandon Funk. Brandon
Get
Funk.
the monkey off the back.
Yeah. It was Tui that sent the initial shot in. Funk in perfect position to bury the rebound, his first goal of the year for the Tauros.
All he needed was Lauren to stop picking him as the player to watch. It would have been a Tauros power play. A high sticking call on Braden Claydenbeck does not get made. Or does not get served, I should say. He still gets the penalty minutes.
Brought to you by Northern Plains Equipment. Goal scored by number 9, Brandon Funk, his first of the season. Assisting on the goal, number 38, Connor Dewey. Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 32 seconds.
It's a try here by Nichols, gets fanned on him. Tauros once again on the prowl in the offensive zone, but
showing no interest in just running out the clock in this one.
Third game against this Mallards team, and third game with 6 goals. So a combined 18 goals through about almost 3 games against this Mallards team. If you're the Tauros, you like what you see, especially given the fact that you got the next 3 against this Minnesota team as well. Tauros with 43 shots on net as we hit the media timeout. Commanding 5-goal lead. Very timely goal from Brandon Funk as well, as we sat down with him earlier this week on Tauros All Access. If you missed that, of course, you can go back and give that a listen. It was on the Tuesday show. Take a look at your point leaders entering the night for the Tauros. Of course, a lot of movement on that is the Tauros net 6. So far, I should say. Still 6:25 to play. Both teams break from the media timeout. Draw out to Mazenko's right side. Tauros control the draw. It's picked up by Small, sent down to the near side corner. Spencer picks it up in the defensive zone. Spencer throwing this one high up off the glass as it'll trickle down into the Mallards territory. Rung around the net of Spaniel. Far to side, it's Ganez. Ganez will find a man as this one's dumped back down the other way. Tauros carrying, but this one the other way as Hagstrom feeds it out of the neutral zone. Chases on for the loose puck. Marvin Cordes gets spun around as he went after that one. Eventually, though, he finds it near side as Hagstrom. Hagstrom up the blue line to Mahler. Mahler will fire one in on net. A cleanup try here by Small, but he gets tripped up, and that's going to draw a penalty.
They had to take that one, or Small's making it 7-1.
It's Trey Ganez being sent to the box. 5:24 to play here. Tauros 1 for 4 in the power play tonight. As the draw will come out to Spaniels. Left side. Tank getting in on the action here. Zihala wins the draw for the Tauros. It's Spencer from the blue line. Spencer skating in. He'll leave it for Ohannes, and Ohannes works it back up the blue line to Mahler. It's Yuhala now along the far side boards. Yuhala skating towards the far side corner. Will find Batten around the Mallards net. Batten will look towards the direction of Spencer. Spencer couldn't get to it, so the Mallards turn it back the other way. Mallards aggressive on the rushes. Hayes skates in, loses the handle. Tauros back the other way. Spencer into the offensive zone will center a pass here to Uhala. Uhala at the far side boards will find Spencer. Spencer back towards the blue line as that pass goes wide. Mahler back to retreat and retrieve that one. 1:16 to go on the extra man advantage for the Tauros. Spencer to Hannison across the blue line. Uhala into the offensive zone. Uhala will fire one initially in and out of the glove of Spaniel. Rebound out to the Tauros' favor. So Hannison will send it back to Mahler. Mahler finding Uhala. Uhala throwing one in off the stick of Davidson. Puck will rattle down to the near side corner. Dug free by the Tauros. Hannison will fire one into the chest of Spaniel for a whistle. 47 seconds to go on the power play. 4:29 remains in the third period.
Checking back in on our four Bears over-unders, Tauros goals. It was close for a bit, but Tauros broke it open. 3.5 goes over.
Tauros with 40 seconds remaining on the power play. Fleming giving near side to Small. Small back up top to James. James will find Edwards. One-timer here by Fleming. Rebound off a stick in front of the Mallards net. Controlled by Ty James. James from the blue line will give to Small. Small cross-ice pass to Edwards. Edwards will fire one off the blocker of Spaniel, up and out of play for a whistle.
The only over-under we have left to decide is Jack O'Hannison points. 1.5. That's going to be a tall order with just 4 minutes left in this one. And the Tauros not really needing to press for offense.
That being said, Tauros, though, in good position here for their 400th franchise win. Tauros off the offensive zone draw. It's Fleming near side. He'll give to the corner to Small. Small back to James. James will give it to Edwards. Edwards will fire one in. That one batted down to the near side. Final few seconds of the power play. This pass goes into the neutral zone, so the Tauros will have to peel back as Ganez is released from the penalty box. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. 3.5 to play. Small into the offensive zone. He skates into the corner. He'll wrap around the Mallards net out to the far side. Small still handling this one. Small center ice will give to Fleming. Fleming will center a pass as this one's hammered home. Brandon Funk, his second of the night. Tauros 7th.
Well, Tauros done scoring 6 against the Mallards. Put up a 7 spot.
Tauros goal brought to you by Northern Blades Equipment. Goal scored by number 9, Brandon Funk, his second of the season. Assisting on the goal, number 77, Landon Fleming. Also assisting on the goal, number 18, John Small. Time of the goal, 18 minutes, 37 seconds.
The amount of opportunities that Funk has had, it seemed like he just needed one to open up the floodgates, and he gets another, so good to see Brandon Funk finding the back of the net. Been a force all year in front of the net, but really good night's work for him. 3:11 to play. Tauros up 7-1. Draw out to Spaniel's left side. Tauros win the draw. Gibbs sends it down the blue line to Clark. Clark will send one into the glove of Spaniel for a whistle. Shots on net now in favor of the Tauros. 50-28.
50 shots on goal. That's nearing a record. Dylan Johnson made 57 saves against the Tauros on Teddy Bear Toss night last night. That was a game the Tauros put up 9 goals for a total of 66 shots.
Tauros still pressing in the offensive zone, sent out to the blue line to Gibbs. Gibbs feeds it to Clark. Clark will send one through traffic. Puck will end up in the near side corner and eventually worked free out of the defensive zone for the Mallards as Davidson just chips this one down the ice. Tauros still applying a lot of pressure in that offensive zone. 2.5 to play. Clark skates this one out of the Tauros territory. He runs into a stick there by Hayes, but Tauros chop this one into the zone. This one shoveled back the other way by the Mallards. Mallard in the defensive zone will throw it off the far side. Boris Hayes keeps it in the offensive zone. This one's pursued after by Borgstad. Hagstrom beats him to it, but near side. Shot is sent wide of the net by O'Flynn. Ganez will dump this one back into the zone. Tauros get in the way of it, so this is skated back the other way. Marvin Cordes across the blue line, far side. He gets held up as the puck frees up as it's rolled on net. Spaniel out of position there for a moment. Mallards, though, skated out of the zone and throw it back down the other way. Tauros behind their own net. It's Hagstrom ringing this one to the near side, picked up by Ramirez. Ramirez out of the Tauros zone will leave it for Hagstrom. Hagstrom will gain the line as he skates down to the far side. He will run into a good poke there by Spaniel. Hagstrom skated in. Edwards trying to get a stick onto this one. It's eventually gathered by Nichols. Nichols sends it far side to Mahler. Mahler will throw one in wide as Ramirez from behind the net of Spaniel fans on a couple of passes there. Eventually, though, will work it down along the boards with a minute to play here. Hagstrom will skate this one in and fire one. This one hits a Mallard through traffic. That was Del Pool in the way of that one. Nichols, though, firing another one in. That one going wide of the net. Tauros hack this one back around the net into the near side corner. The Tauros keep this one briefly into the zone before Kaldenbach got to it as Conan clears this one back down the other way. Under 30 seconds to play. Tauros will throw one into the offensive zone, but it'll be pinned up in the far side corner. Final 15 seconds to play. Thompson into the near side corner. Sabulis holding him up along the boards as this puck's pinned up, eventually freed and gathered by Vanderway. Vanderway skating down the other way will give it.
Did they really blow the whistle with
long neck, but
0.7 seconds left?
We will have
Cody Count. You're really gonna drop this puck.
Puck is down, horn sounds, Tauros win. That's franchise win number 400 for the Cream and Cardinal. Tauros take the Friday night contest 7-1, outshooting the Mallards 51-29. Will Mazenko saving 28 of those 29 shots faced as the Tauros win their 16th of the year on home ice.
Your Minot Minotauros with that win. That is franchise win 400.
So we'll get to our 3 stars here in a moment. Presented by Liberty Tax. Plenty to choose from. with 7 goals on the board through 60 minutes here for the Tauros.
I'm not allowed to guess because I'm the one who picks them, so I know the answer.
Time to meet your Liberty Tax 3 stars of the game. The Liberty Tax third star of the night with a goal and an assist, number 38, Connor Tui. The Liberty Tax second star of the night with 2 goals and an assist, number 9, Brendan Baum. And tonight's first star of the night with 2 goals and tying the Tauros franchise record with goals by a defenseman, number 42, Adam Mallards. That's your Liberty Tax.
So, those are your 3 stars.
As we get a look at Mallards' first of the night. But things couldn't have gone much better for the Tauros tonight. A 7-1 victory. A couple of guys get their first goal as Tauros. Brandon Vunkic's first 2, actually. Connor Tui picks up his first in Cream and Cardinal. A lot of good games all around. Ty James, a goal and an assist. John Small, a goal and an assist. They get left out of the 3 stars. Ian Spencer, 2 helpers.
Another high-scoring performance against this Mallards team. We mentioned it before, of course, 6 goals apiece. And the Tauros sweep down in Forest Lake a couple weeks back, 7 to start this series out. And the Mallards really were in this one up until that 3rd period.
Yeah.
Only trailed 1 entering the final period of play, but the Tauros opened the floodgates and a dominant 3rd period.
Shots 18-6 in the 3rd frame. That's how you put a team away. Tauros weren't going to make the mistake they made 2 Fridays ago in Minnesota. Ty James, John Small, Adam Mahler, and then Funks twice. 5 goals in the 3rd period. That'll certainly do.
All things considered, good signs for the Tauros is they'll have 3 more against this Mallards team tomorrow night. Teddy Bear Toss here on the Pepsi Rink. If you haven't bought your tickets, tickets.minotauroshockey.com. Of course, Ken, one of the bigger nights here inside the Mesa Arena.
Tickets are going fast. Only about 200 seats left. So if you've been waiting to make your decision, you're just about out of time.
As it'll be my first Teddy Bear Toss, too. I'm excited to see it, Ken. Always a big night here at Mesa Arena, but the Tauros get their 16th win of the year with this one, and setting up a lot of good signs for tomorrow night. But any final thoughts, Ken?
Yeah, this is exactly what we were looking for out of this group, right? Tauros get the win that they needed. We talked about it all along. The Shamrocks and Mallards 6 in a row, then North Iowa, I believe. No, then Austin to close out Christmas break. So a chance to have a little bit of a run here.
Yeah.
Took care of the first 2 against the Shamrocks, first 1. Chance to make it 4 in a row against the expansion teams tomorrow night.
Puck drop tomorrow night, 7:35 on the Pepsi Rink. If you're not in attendance, you can tune in on NATV free audio available on Facebook and YouTube. Farmers Union Insurance pregame show couple minutes before puck drop, so make sure to tune in for that. But for Edward Neiman, Ken Oda, Sean Bachhoven, the rest of us here at Mesa Arena saying so long until tomorrow.